staffing to make that happen. Are you in agreement to work with Metro IAF?
100%, and let's be honest what we have to do. We have to blow up HPD because that's where there's a lot of delay and there's a lot of trouble, and we have to totally reorganize HPD. We have to get that city council to actually approve projects rather than delay projects. We need a new state subsidy program because the one they have, 485X, sounds like a rocket ship, but it doesn't work. We have to get that done. We have the commitment, and you have my commitment to work night and day to make it happen, and I have done it before. I built hundreds of thousands of units across the nation. No reason why we can't do it in the greatest city on the planet.
Yes or no? First 30 days after, if you were to win the election, will you meet with Metro IAF?
In the first 30 days?
Yes.
No, I'll meet with you the first day.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Governor. Thank you.
Am I done or do I get close?
You're done.
No close?
You want to close?
Yeah, real quick.
30 seconds.
So how many?
No time left. No time left.
All right, forget it. Thank you. God bless.
Hello. Hey, I'm Reverend Getulio Cruz Jr. I'm the pastor of a Pentecostal congregation, Montesion Christian Church in the Lower East Side, and a co-chair of Manhattan Together. And I'm inviting Comptroller Brad Lander to come forward. He's got the same 5 minutes, and you see we're very tight on that. Stick to our agenda, laying out. We already laid out our priorities. We just want you to affirm where you're going to help and where you're going to hurt. Giving you time to get up here. And then at the end of your time, we're going to ask a follow-up question.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Metro IAF. Thank you, Reverend Cruz and Pastor Brawley. I'm honored to be here today with the 2,000 leaders and members of IAF, with the 300 more at Temple Sha'arei Tefillah. It is an honor to be with you. I'm New York City Controller Brad Lander. Psalm 118 reminds us, this is the day that the Lord has made. Rejoice and be exceedingly glad. And I'm exceedingly glad to be here today because I believe not only is this the day the Lord has made, but this is the day when the future of New York City is being made. Because when Metro IAF and the next mayor team up to build 500,000 homes, beginning with 50,000 100% affordable public land for public good, when we fix public housing together with the model that you have developed, when we confront the mental health crisis, when we address the issues in the neighborhoods of all these congregations, we will be building a New York that is not pushing black families out, that's not leaving families in the conditions that you saw on that screen, but where everyone, teachers and nurses and school crossing guards and retail clerks and small business people, can all live in safe, affordable, and livable neighborhoods. So look, yes, I am honored to say an enthusiastic yes to each one of the commitments in the Metro IAF agenda. And I want to tell you specifically how I am going to get them done. Like Metro IAF, for decades I've been working to build 100% affordable housing. For 15 years before I got into public office, I worked just like you with people like Barbara Bethel and Migdalia Lugo and Sheila Gibbs, who were in abandoned buildings that we worked together to take over and make 100% affordable housing, often owned by the residents there themselves. Those folks are the ones who propelled me into city council, where I led the Gowanus rezoning, where now 8,000 homes are going up, 3,000 affordable, 1,500 NYCHA units being fixed up. As controller, I issued the city's first ever social bonds, $2 billion for 7,000 low-income units, and we're gonna need them to build those 50,000 truly affordable homes. So, as your next mayor, On day one, I'm going to declare a state of emergency so we can confront the housing crisis and get busy building all those 500,000 homes. In line with your proposal for housing, I'm committed to building 35,000 units on those 1,009 city-owned lots, 10,000 on NYCHA lots for seniors who already live there, 1,500 at least more on the land that IAF congregations already have. I agree, we need $2.7 billion. Those social bonds will help. The $70 million at HPD, and I've laid out a concrete plan to fix HPD. You can look it up on my website called Building Blocks of Change, so we can streamline the process and get all those units built. I'm excited to work with you to fix NYCHA. In the Gowanus rezoning, we fixed up every one of the 1,500 units in Gowanus and Wyckoff houses, and I will provide the funding, the leadership, and the partnership needed to clear the NYCHA backlog. The model you have developed, that ombudsman call center through the Baez consent decree, you did that. Let's hear it for the folks at Manhattan Together and IAF who partnered that and pioneered that model. I'm going to add to it, and so I got two big commitments to add to your housing agenda. On top of those 50,000 units, I'm going to double it because you might be surprised to learn New York City owns 12 golf courses. And those golfers in the room, don't you worry, there'll still be 8 of them. When we take 4 and build 50,000 more affordable homes for New Yorkers to rent or own, public land for public good, your 50,000, my 50,000, that's 100,000 genuinely affordable homes. Let's do it together. I'm also looking forward to working with you to confront the mental health crisis. And absolutely supporting the data transparency and funding that you're talking about. And I'll go you one better. I've got a plan to end street homelessness for people with serious mental illness that's working in Houston and Denver and Salt Lake City. It uses a model called Housing First that takes people from the subway platforms or sidewalks or stoops of our building directly into housing and services and gets people stably housed 70 to 90% of the time. We don't have to be a city where several thousand of our mentally ill neighbors sleep on the street. We can end that together. Let's get it done. For all of that, what you're going to need is somebody who works closely with you every day. So I will honor every one of those commitments. Could I just say one last thing? All right. Because I agree with the former governor that this is not about plans. But I do want to tell you, when he was given the keys to this city, we lost hundreds of thousands of affordable housing units. We lost thousands of inpatient psychiatric beds.
Hello?
And he went out in a blaze
We got it.
of construction, abuse, and lies.
We got it.
It matters
You
when
did
people
a great
tell the
job.
truth.
This is what we want to hear. Okay? Now, this is a follow-up question. If elected, will you commit to meet with Metro IF New York within 30 days after the November election?
Within 30 days after the June election.
All
so
right.
I'll meet you in July, all right? You got it.
Good. Thank you. Do you have any clues? We're good.
Yeah, I'll just say, you know what? When people lie,
I'm sorry, I'm
it
following
matters,
David.
It matters when people tell you the truth. I got a track record of public integrity. You know you can believe every word I say. When people don't live up to their commitments, you ought to take that as a clear answer as well. Thank you very much, Metro IAF. Very proud to be with you today and honored to accept all of your commitments. Thank you, Ben. Nice to see you.
Good afternoon. I'm Ben Thomasis, Executive Director of Queens Community House. QCH, co-chair of Queens Power. Honored to be here with all of you today. I'm honored to have the role. I'm introducing former City Controller Scott Stringer. Former Controller Stringer, can you please step up? You know the drill by now. You have 5 minutes. We're going to stay focused on the 4 issue areas that Metro IAF is focused on. That's yours.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. This is not my first rodeo. I have been before you many times with IAF, and it is a privilege to be back with you. I see you couldn't get a big turnout. Look, this election is very consequential. We are at a crossroads. you have to make a decision about the government you want. We can continue the chaos with more chaos, or we can chart a new course. I'm a lifelong New Yorker. I grew up uptown in Manhattan. I remember as a kid how disrespected our community was. The speculators didn't invest with our communities. They didn't build the schools. They didn't build the daycare centers. They didn't build a way of life. In fact, they tried to redline so many of our communities. But Metro IAF and so many of you here today punched through. And you will not accept speculators coming to communities to build luxury housing and then smatterings of affordable housing that turned out not to be affordable for the people in communities. It cannot go down that way anymore. When I was controller, I worked with Metro IAF, you know, that vacant lots, 1009. Those numbers came with me calculating the vacant land and the possibilities to build. So I'm all in, because the way we build housing is not just housing for the very, very rich with enclaves for the poor, but a real agenda. We're gonna turn those lots into true affordable housing. Free land, city-owned land can get that done. I'm gonna give you the subsidy of $2.7 billion, because that's the right math. We do have to rebuild HPD. We've got to make sure that we have people and build capacity in agencies. I know how to do that. I did that as controller. As controller, I financed affordable housing. I managed that pension fund. But while we were doing those things, I also divested from fossil fuels, because I know we need the green economy for our children. I divested from gun manufacturers. I divested from private prisons. And the secret to good government and being a mayor is making sure that you build capacity. That hasn't happened in a very long time. So I'm going to put my 30 years of experience to work for our communities. Look, like many of you with your children and grandchildren, I have skin in this city. I'm raising 2 children, my 13-year-old and 12-year-old. My wife is here today. No, they're not my grandchildren, they're my children. Should I interrupt? Did you see the look on that guy's face? Come on. And let me say, I want them to live in this city. I didn't raise them so they could leave and not afford to live here. My little one said to me, "Daddy, I'm always going to live with you." And then last month I said, "Mom's going to live with me, right? You're going to live with Mom and me?" He goes, "Dad, I'm going to stay as long as I can." But finally, and in conclusion, let me just say this. This IAF agenda, yes, I support 100%, because it's not based on some consultant's political plan that polls well. This plan has been thought out. It's a long time coming. It's a community plan. And I have said very clearly that the day I win this primary, and yes, this thing ain't over yet. We're just getting started. The day we win this primary, I will be back with IAF. We'll be executing our transition plan to get this done. See, you can't just run for mayor without understanding city government. And let's face it, the shelf life of a mayor is getting shorter and shorter. It's tough. And around the country, right, you can become mayor, your poll numbers go down immediately. Same with governors. So you have to walk into City Hall on day one with your administration intact. And that's how I know how to govern. That's what I did as borough president, building housing. That's what I did as controller, financing housing. That's what we need in a mayor today. And I hope to give you that, because this has been my life's work, just like it's been yours. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Comptroller Stringer. So I heard you correctly that you agreed to every element of the Metro IAF agenda. Is that right?
Yes, we met, we analyzed, we took a look at it, and I agree.
And including the accountability piece, so you'll meet with us on day one and on throughout the years, periodically to publicly report on progress on these items?
The answer is yes. And by the way, you know, everyone's going to come here today and tell you that. No surprise, right? What candidate's not going to come and say, I'm not going to meet with you every hour on the hour, right? But here's the truth. I've been meeting with you for most of my adult life. So you know I'm going to be back.
Thank you.
I'm going to leave the building. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, worthy and deserving people of New York City. My name is Dr. Barbara Campbell, and I'm a member of First Presbyterian Church in Jamaica, and I'm a Queen's Power leader. And here with me is my lead pastor, the Reverend Patrick O'Connor. Speaker Adams, could you approach the podium, please? The 5-minute time remains. Speaker Adams, in your remarks, please respond specifically to how we will act on the priorities that we have laid out. And you have heard them, and you have them in your docket. Thank you so much. You have 5 minutes.
Thank you so much. I think my sister knows how I get with a microphone because I'm so happy to be in the house of the Lord, yeah. Oh my goodness, it is wonderful to be here, particularly in the house of the Lord as a woman of faith. And so, Metro IAF, we're going to cut to the chase because your agenda is my agenda. So while others will come and tell you what their policies will be, I'm going to tell you, if you'll give me those 5 minutes, to tell you what my agenda already is, because I'm already doing the work. And so, just like I want for my own children and my own family, I want all families and New Yorkers to stay in our city. We have to make our city more affordable. We want to be able to have housings of all type to meet everyone's needs. And the city must follow through to aggressively develop and preserve the homes needed. I am the only candidate running for mayor who has actually delivered a citywide housing plan to build over 80,000 new affordable homes. Already did it. And investing $5 billion to deepen affordability, preserve affordable units, and repair NYCHA units. As one whose daughter is raising children in NYCHA on Far Rockaway, this is personal to me.
Yes.
I'm not just saying something that's pie in the sky. This is the life that I live as an everyday New Yorker, a wife, a mother, and a grandmother. And so when we move through the City for All, formerly known as the City of Yes, but we'll call it the City of Yes because some of y'all just don't want to change over to what we rejudged it to be, the City for All. This has also allowed more faith-based institutions to build on their land, and it provided greater support for them to do it. My housing plan, though, that is already passed via the City for All, so I beg to differ, the former governor, we're already doing this, so I don't know where he said he hasn't been around in a while. My housing plan is actually building already on my record of success as the leader of the City Council to build at least 500,000 new homes by building on city-owned land, advancing neighborhood rezonings while utilizing recent zoning changes, partnering with our churches and nonprofits on new affordable housing construction, and investing in deeper affordability. That's the name of the game, and our housing agencies to get the work done. I will also build on my previous work to secure greater funding for NYCHA, which is included in our proposal that we passed in the City for All proposal. More funding for NYCHA, opportunities, supportive housing, and preserving existing affordable homes. I have fought for these housing priorities as Speaker and secured them, but guess what, as Mayor, I'm not going to have to fight myself. So we're going to already have the power in the seat as mayor to make this thing happen without fighting for it anymore. So my plan also increases housing subsidies in the capital budget from $1.5 billion to $3 billion each year to ensure that we at least have a baseline $4 billion in capital funding to build more affordable housing. IAF, you want 70 million? I've already given you 50 million in my plan that is already in progress, so we're already more than halfway there and meeting your $70 million for HPD staff and capacity to fill this housing development. We will invest at least $500 million in NYCHA repairs and vacant unit readiness while improving on our tracking of outstanding completed repairs. We want our NYCHA residents to live in dignity, the dignity that every New Yorker deserves. We're also building housing above more libraries and underutilized city-owned land to create more affordable homes, as I proposed in my 2024 State of the City address. We are going to also advance reforms to help us build affordable housing faster, quicker, and sorry, I lost my train of thought there, but I want to talk about NYCHA. That's why I'm looking at this timing over here. For NYCHA, we are moving on NYCHA because residents deserve the best. The city has focused primarily on RAD impact at the expense of residents. I know this because my daughter is living under this condition already. They will build it, but then their wallet takes a decrease, you know, when it comes to RAD. So as Speaker, I focused on securing resources for repairs at Section 9 apartments. I've already done the work. Not will do this. I don't need a manual or a transcript to do the work. I'm already doing the work. The only candidate in this race that has successfully negotiated 3 city budgets. You mentioned the $115 billion. That's my $115 billion co-leadership already.
Thank you, Speaker Adams.
So much more to talk about.
So,
doing the work already.
Just to be
nobody else in the race is already doing the work.
Thank you, Speaker Adams.
Citywide. Nobody else in the race.
We got it. Okay, just to be clear, you are affirming that you will address all 4 issues on our agenda in front of this great assembly.
In front of this great assembly,
And
in the house of the Lord. I am affirming my commitment to always walk the walk with IAF and talk the talk as a woman of God with IAF in
Wonderful.
partnership with you.
Lastly, if elected, will you commit to meet with Metro IAF within 30 days after November election? And will you assemble your top commissioners to meet with us in the first month of your administration?
Not only that, but I would like to have someone that is committed to do the work with IAF on staff with me in City Hall as mayor.
Thank you, Speaker Adams.
Thank you so much to Speaker Adams. Good afternoon. We're doing great. I want to just say thank you to everybody who's here. My name is Joanne Kennedy. I'm part of the Catholic Worker on the Lower East Side, and I'm the co-chair of Manhattan Together. Shout out to my people at Temple Shari Tefillah. We made it to the last candidate. Everybody take a deep breath. A big cleansing breath. I'm delighted to invite Assembly Member Zoran Mdani up. Okay, the same rules apply. You got 5 minutes. Pia's keeping time, and when it gets really close, I'm going to stand up and nudge you. All right.
Every time I follow Speaker Adams, I know everybody's expecting me to sing as well, but I want to tell you, I'm gonna stick to the words. Good afternoon, everyone. Amen. It is such a pleasure to be here. My name is Zoran Mdani. I'm an assembly member representing Astoria and Long Island City, and I'm running to be your next mayor. Now, I won't say anything about the former governor, but I'll echo what it's already been said. But you will hear from politicians often telling us this is the greatest city in the world. And I am so thankful to be here with Metro IAF because Today's conversation reminds me of what Dr. King asked us decades ago. What good is having the right to sit at a lunch counter if you can't afford to buy a hamburger? What good is being the greatest city in the world if you can't afford your rent? What good is the greatest city in the world if you can't afford your groceries, your childcare, your Metro card? What good is it if New Yorkers can't live there anymore? So I stand here today to affirm this platform, to affirm it because believing in affordability is not enough. We only have to look at James 2:14 to know that faith without works is death. We must deliver affordability. So we are going to deliver that city by meeting the requirements laid out in this document. And we meet them because we know that if we do not, we will lose the city that we love. If we do not, we will keep citing the same statistics we have all seen, where we lost nearly 20% of our city's population of black children and teenagers from 2010 to 2019. 200,000 black New Yorkers in a single decade. And people keep asking why, and we know why. It's because we are not doing anything about it. And I am thankful to be here with the few who have done something about it. Because while I hope to earn your vote, ultimately what I want more than that is your partnership. And that's why I am affirming these principles, because I know I'm not going to deliver them. We are going to deliver them. We are going to deliver those 50,000 truly affordable homes in those 24 months. And when we talk about public housing, I know this struggle because I represent Queensbridge Houses, the largest public housing development in North America. And I have to answer questions from my constituents of which there are no answers. Why is a 75-year-old woman being asked to walk up 8 flights of stairs because the elevator doesn't work? There is no answer to that. And so what I say is, yes, we may know that NYCHA is a federal responsibility, but they're not coming anytime soon. So we have to show up. That's why in my housing proposal, I said we were going to increase the amount of money we spend on preservation of NYCHA by $3 billion. That is why when my constituents ask me, I live in a NYCHA development, and in a 5-block radius, I can find 5 fast food restaurants, but I can't find a single grocery store. That's why we're also going to open up a network of municipal-owned grocery stores to guarantee cheaper groceries and meet the crisis of food deserts that black and brown New Yorkers are facing every day. Because no New Yorker should be priced out of bread and milk and eggs. We know that because they're already doing it in Kansas. Why can't we do it in New York City? And when we talk about mental health and the crisis that is, yes, I will fund that $1 million for data transparency, but I will also create a Department of Community Safety, one that will tackle 5 areas: the mental health crisis, homelessness, gun violence, hate crimes, and victim services. And I say that because I know police have a critical role to play in creating public safety. And I also know when I talk to those police officers, they are tired of doing the roles of mental health professionals and social workers. So it's time we actually hire mental health professionals and social workers. And you know, you will hear people tell you about Rikers Island, and we have to close Rikers Island. We have an answer to how we can provide that mental health today. There's a model called clubhouses, 16 of them in New York City. They are services for New Yorkers with serious mental illness, and they decrease hospitalization rates by more than 40%, increase employment rates by more than 50%. And you know how much they cost for a year's worth of service? $5,000. That's 2 days on Rikers Island. I have much more to say, but I can feel a shadow lingering right behind me.
That's my job. All right, thank you so much, Assembly Member. I want to ask 2 clarifying questions,
Please.
if I can. You went last, so you get an extra hot minute. Okay.
Thank you.
So the first question is, we like the support of the housing plan, but we didn't hear you mention staffing at HPD.
Yes.
Do you intend to devote the extra funding that's required to make HPD work?
Absolutely.
Good. Can we get claps for that? And regarding NYCHA, I did not hear you talk about RAD Pact accountability. Can you say a little bit about how you expect to make that work?
Absolutely. What we need to do is provide the oversight of these kinds of programs. We have to ensure that we are protecting each and every resident of public housing. And my gut has always been follow the lead of those residents. And we are seeing in developments across the city concerns that the mayor has to be responsive to, and that's why I was proud when we were reading through this policy document. One of the questions was whether you'll have a deputy mayor who will be tasked with working with Metro IAF. And I will have that because that's also the deputy mayor who's going to ensure that we're following up on this.
All right, thank you. We want to hear that.
Now,
Thank you very much.
I'm going to get a little greedy here. Is it possible? I was told there might be a closing statement of a minute.
Well, we cut everybody off because we had to have all 5 candidates. But I'll give you one last way to get some love in the room. All right. If and when you win the election,
She said when.
will you meet with Metro IF in the first 30 days?
Absolutely, I will.
And if you win the election in November, will you let us meet with your commissioners in the first 30 days?
Absolutely.
All right,
And I
thank
wanna
you
s-
very
and
much.
I want to say thank you also to Reverend Rashad Raymond Moore, because the first time we met many months ago at First Baptist, one of the first things he told me was, you need to learn about Metro IAF. We are having a mayoral action months away from now, but you need to be prepared. And it is an honor to have been here. I know I'm getting even more signals.
Yeah,
I'll keep the
exactly.
stories for another day. Thank you so
All right,
much.
thank
We
you.
got 23 days. Let's vote for the future, not the past.
I'm Bishop H. Curtis Douglas, Senior Pastor of Daybar Bethlehem Cathedral and leader in Queens. Power! I want to salute Metro IAF and all of the organizations that are here and all of you that are here. Give yourselves a hand. We have accomplished something momentous today. We have gotten these candidates to commit to our agenda. Oh, y'all, don't miss that moment. We have gotten the candidates, all of them have committed to our agenda. We have come from all over this city to speak to those who hope to lead this city and to let them know we love this city. We care about this city, and we are fighting for this city. And we have concerns, and we want you to meet all of our concerns. And as far as I heard, they all said yes. Oh, come on, make some noise for that. They all said yes. We have been in the trenches listening. We've been in the trenches strategizing. We've been in the trenches organizing. We have done the work. We are still doing the work. We're going to keep doing the work because the work needs to be done. Now, what we need is for the next mayor of this city to do their work. Work to improve the quality of life in this city. Work by building 50,000 affordable homes in this city. Work to rectify the issues in this city that have been sidelined for far too long. Work for the people that you are asking to trust you with their vote. When do we need it? Now. Let me try that again. When do we need it? Now. We want you to fix NYCHA. Now. Build 50,000 affordable housing. Now. Address the mental health issue. Now. Why? Because this is the city of. Now. Make it happen. Now. The time is. Now. The moment is. Now. And we're going to get it done. Listen, I want you, if you agree with this, I want you to make some noise in every part of this complex. Let them know we are going to get it done, and we're going to get it done now!
Yes. Y'all, we're about to get out of here, but we're going to pray. You want to stand? Let's stand and pray. Cole Arthur Riley said that to be human in an aching world is to know our dignity and become people who safeguard the dignity of others. And that's what today was about, safeguarding dignity for all. Let's pray. God of the people, we believe we can have a city of now. Our many faith traditions teach that you are not the God of the powerful, but of the powerless. You are not the God of the wealthy, but the God with a preferential option for the poor. You are not pleased with those who would sell our city, our birthright, for a mess of pottage. You are God of the people. You are God of the ordinary laborer, of the immigrant, of the student, the elderly, the folk. You care about real needs, and you care about them now. You meet real needs, and you meet them now. You incline your ear towards the grieved in spirit, and you act now. You show up in spectacular ways, doing extraordinary things with and through the everyday people right here, right now. God of the people, continue to give us courage, continue to give us power, continue to help us push those who would lead this city forward into your vision of beloved community, a city that works for all of us, and where our mayor serves the interests of everyday people. May it be so. We pray in your many names. Amen.
We are dismissed. Again, thank you everybody for being here. We look forward to doing the work. This is only just the beginning. God bless.
How's everybody feeling?
Let 'em fade.